Okay, that was Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 9.
It was a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster. That's a really good way to put it.
And I need to apologize to everyone if I made really loud shrieking sounds. I am so sorry for your ears.
Do you think it's gonna happen?
Or is he showing that he has it, and now he's gonna turn it over to Levi?
Because
It could be like a look what I secured. Maybe this is my final, thing that I'm gonna do, since I'm probably gonna die. I don't know, is he gonna... All of his comrades are dead. And he just had a flashback of all of the people he cared about and he did things for, basically. Or that were following him.
You see, it's in a case, so it leads me to believe, unless all of them were in cases, which I didn't think they were, that it's special. If it's
not late, we can't, you know how the armor had a label that we could read, or it told us what it was? It's not telling us. It's not translating that.
If it was just, I'm gonna turn into a Titan, no big deal. Levi kills Titans all the time. I don't know how important it is. Want to know what's a good question? That writing that's on the vial, which language do you think that is? Aaron could read it, so probably theirs, right?
Probably theirs if he could read it. But, nope. Aaron recalls things he doesn't know how he knows.
That's true.
And Ymir was able to read that language on that, what was it, sardines or something? It was some type of canned fish.
Yeah.
What if it's one of those things that he doesn't know how he knows because he read it after all of his memories were, brought back.
Herring. After
Historia and Rod touched him.
Yeah.
So what if it also brought back, a memory of that language and he now has an understanding of it?
It's interesting, no?
If he has access to all of the former founding Titans' memories, he would understand a language that is used by them.
Mm-hmm. I had a question. So now, 2 seasons later, what makes an abnormal an abnormal? Do we have any information now that would let us have a better guess?
I think why they were calling it an abnormal in this sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that a normal Titan would go for the closest person, no matter how many people, the closest in proximity person to them. And Hanji was saying that this Titan is going to avoid smaller villages or single people. And he's going to go straight for the largest concentration of people, and that's why he's abnormal.
I believe you're right, but him aside even, other abnormals that we've seen, right? Mm-hmm. What makes them an abnormal?
I think it's just an umbrella term for any Titan that acts differently than what their idea of a Titan originally had been when we first started the show.
Yeah, but why? Why do they act different? Is it something different in the syringe? Is it not enough?
I mean, we've seen non-syringed Titans acting abnormal, so it's not just specific to the.
You know what I mean, though?
It's a genetic thing. I mean, if we're going with the logic that all Titans were once upon a time injected with something, because they can't reproduce, then it could be that the person that was it's based on the person that was injected and maybe some type of mutation that happens in the transformation process.
Yeah.
I would say it's maybe down to a DNA kind of level, maybe even. Maybe. Someone has something in their genes.
Maybe it's the way they injected it.
The way,
because we saw Rod lick it. If he did have a cut there, still that I'm sure is a little bit different than a syringe. I thought that was interesting though, because I don't know, it's I'm thinking about the abnormal in No Regrets, right? And they're so different. But it's almost
they're all abnormal for a different reason. They're all doing something that is
not predictable.
Abnormal.
Yeah. So I assume nobody died. The whole idea of the pieces scattering,
and them going for it to kind of try to stop the regeneration, because they knew that one of those pieces would probably contain Rod's body, which I didn't originally know that was the plan. And then I gathered
Does Rod still he's not in there still, is he?
Historia slashed the piece that he was in. She cut his head off.
So why I'm asking that is like regular Titans don't have people in the back of their necks. Why would he be in the back?
Aaron's in the back of his.
Because he's not a regular Titan. He transforms into a Titan.
Well, it was imagery. It was just it wasn't a literal, we didn't see her literally do it to her dad. It was more spiritual, like a spirit form.
Well, I think it was showing us that she could see his memories by like making contact with a piece of him.
Yeah.
Not to mention the absolute like skill it must take to fire ODM gear at a moving target so you can travel with it.
I remember when we first saw something similar to that in like season 1, I was like, dang, that takes skill. It was like when they were all falling off the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think it was Sasha that shot one of the other guys in the leg and like impaled them so that they didn't die.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that takes tons of skill to like hook onto something that's like falling and moving as you are also falling.
Yeah.
Also, did you love how when she was diving down towards that piece, she was like, this is my first fight with my father.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I love her.
Because like, I don't know. He's not in there, right? I totally could be wrong. I'm stupid. But like
Because, okay, she slices through and we don't see a body.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be in there. Like, he would not, like... When Eren was transformed into a Titan by his dad, Eren was not in the nape of that Titan's neck.
Unfortunately, it's a science that we can't understand in our own universe.
I do love how it was, like, it just showing us, like, literally slicing the nape of Rod's neck, which is great.
And was it Rod or his brother that was protesting so much?
Rod.
So that's Rod protesting.
Correct.
He gets locked away when his brother gets turned. Do you think this is the scene we're seeing when he's yelling? Why else would he be locked away?
That's a really good question.
Unless the father was about to transfer the power to his brother.
Yeah.
And he was against it. And he thought he'd interfere or something.
I think you're right.
Because why else would you lock him away? Unless he was threatening to tell people or something. You know I'll be fine, brother.
Yeah.
And then there's the injection. Okay.
God,
Alma! That's Historia's mom! Historia's mom was in the mood. We don't know Historia's mom's name, but you're the only one that will understand me, Alma. And how else would he have an affair if maybe it was the maid in his, residence, and then later he gets very upset seeing Historia's mother murdered?
Interesting.
Do you think that's her? Possibly?
Hold on, I want to freeze on her.
Maybe? Yeah. Why else would they say a name and have him groveling to a woman?
That's a really good question.
Unless that's possibly Historia's mom.
That's a really good question, because you can, like, in your head, paint a actual, like, story there of him, like... Because I
was trying to figure out why she resented Historia so much, how Rod had this illegitimate child, but this scenario would totally make sense to me.
It totally would. That's really interesting. So I love the line, I won't lose to the ghosts of our ancestors.
Yeah, Frida's line.
I love it. What the fuck is that? Like, why? Like, what is it?
So Frida really was... I think Rod was telling the truth now when he said that Frida was going to fix everything.
I don't.
She wanted to.
I think she wanted to before it happened.
But look at her eyes. Her eyes have already changed.
It's different, though. Like... Before the scene of her eyes changing is her normally.
Yeah, but she says that quote, leave it to me, father, and then...
Like, so she'd continue talking, but this is after. And
so she changed her mind once she...
Yes, and so did the brother, seemingly, too. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we still see her being a great person, like, with Historia. So what is it? Is it knowledge and history that makes... Frida decide that she doesn't want to do it or change it? Or is it an actual, like, force or will?
I don't know. It makes them a pacifist. It makes them feel... I think that...
It could be.
We don't know. Mom. Okay.
It could be. But it's very interesting, though, right? Like, why... Learning the memories is potentially...
It change things? What's your
bad
guess?
idea.
Okay, because I think we have a few. We have, like... Whatever's in the memories makes you not want to change things, or there's a will control element. Which are you leaning towards?
I guess I'm leaning towards it's a memory that makes them not want to do it because it would make more sense to me in a way, because it's like, oh, because like she's still Frida's still acting a normal life other than that, right? It makes more sense to me that way. But when we live in a Attack on Titan world where you can erase people's memories, I don't know.
I'm leaning more towards some type of will that they take on this task that has been given to them, and there's a slight control element there. I feel like it's a passing down of a job, of a duty, and that you can't escape.
Here's a question. So like you're saying that it would still be Frida choosing to do that based off of what she knows?
Not necessarily. I was saying that it was some control in it. You're controlled by this duty that you've been put in, and there's the will of the king involved in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of inescapable for you. I feel like if you have all of these memories of the king, then he might even be able to affect your memories and or affect the memories that you see.
Regardless.
If he can change your mind, if he can erase memories or affect your memory, why can't he create fake memories for the founding titans to believe are real?
Because that's what I was just thinking. But wouldn't that be altering his own memories, technically?
If the founding titan is something that he was never a part of, it wouldn't be. He might have created the founding titan out of someone else, so they wouldn't have his memories.
I don't know, dude.
Sure. I mean, like, obviously we're not sure.
Because we had the line last episode of the king's will, which was implied to me that it was like, you don't have a choice. I can't wait for it to be explained to me potentially at some point.
And they've used the word brainwashing as well.
Yeah. Aaron definitely is a bit... we saw it the last few episodes as well, but like he's definitely down on himself, you know?
I love when characters like have moments where they realize their shortcomings.
Yeah.
And realize that everyone else around them, instead of being all in their head and self-deprecating, is trying their best, even if their best isn't good enough. You know, like Armin is not freakishly good at taking down titans like Mikasa is. Like, obviously he's smart, but he's not really in the job that needs him to be smart. He's in the job that he's fighting titans.
Yeah.
And so, but you know what he was doing? He was working. And so was Mikasa. Both of them were like, we don't really have time to be self-deprecating right now. We don't have time to be down on ourselves. We need to just try to be our best right now.
That's a really good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it.
That's a really good way to put it.